Let's be honest, most men text women like they're applying for a job, polite, predictable, and painfully boring. Then they wonder why she suddenly got busy or started replying slower. Here's the hard truth: she's not busy, she's just not excited. And that's where most men lose the game. Women don't miss the text, they miss the feeling the text gives them. Every message you send either pulls her closer or pushes her away without you realizing it. The problem is, most guys think constant texting equals connection. It doesn't. It equals comfort. And comfort kills attraction faster than you think. When she doesn't miss your messages, it's not because she doesn't like you. It's because you've made yourself too available, too predictable, and too safe. You've taken away the chase, and whether you like it or not, women crave a little mystery. That's what triggers emotional curiosity. That, why hasn't he texted me yet? Thought that makes her check her phone twice. In this video, I'll teach you how to flip the script, how to text in a way that builds anticipation instead of boredom. These aren't manipulative tricks, they're lessons in understanding attraction, confidence, and emotional control. Because once you learn how to make her miss your messages, you won't need to double text again. 1. Stop texting first, all the time. Here's the mistake almost every man makes. You're always the one to start the conversation. You text, "Good morning, how was your day?" or "What are you up to?" thinking it shows interest. But in reality, it shows neediness. It tells her you're waiting for her attention to feel validated. You might think being consistent is attractive, but in her eyes, it's predictable. The more she knows you'll text first, the less effort she puts in. She doesn't have to chase, wonder, or even think, because she already knows you'll show up. And once she stops wondering, the emotional pull is gone. Here's the truth most men don't like hearing: attraction grows in uncertainty. When you stop initiating every single time, she starts to notice your silence. She starts asking herself, why hasn't he texted me? And that moment, that confusion, is where curiosity builds. Women miss men who create emotional tension, not men who give constant reassurance. So, stop being her emotional security blanket. Give her space to miss you. That silence is what resets the dynamic. It shifts you from the always available guy to the man she's thinking about. Now, don't confuse this with playing childish games or ignoring her completely. It's about balance. You're not avoiding her, you're just not chasing her. You're showing her that your life doesn't revolve around your phone or her attention. That's what confidence looks like in digital form. 1. Imagine this. You've been texting her every morning for a week straight. Then one day, you don't. You wake up, focus on your day, and stay silent. By afternoon, she checks her phone, surprised. Did he forget? Later, she double-checks her messages, maybe even texts you first. Why? Because your absence broke the pattern. She felt it. That's the power of pulling back. When you stop always texting first, you teach her something powerful: that your attention is valuable, not guaranteed. And when she realizes that, she starts chasing your presence instead of taking it for granted. So, next time you feel the urge to send that first text, pause. Let her wonder where your energy went. That's how you start making her miss your messages like crazy. 2. Silence is louder than words. Silence is a language most men never learn to speak. You think constant communication keeps her interested, that if you stop talking, she'll forget you. But here's the shocking truth: silence often speaks louder than any message you could send. When you're always available, always talking, and always explaining yourself, you remove every bit of mystery that keeps her emotionally hooked. You leave nothing for her to think about, nothing for her to imagine. And when a woman stops imagining, she stops feeling. Silence isn't about ghosting her or playing games. It's about emotional control. It's the ability to stop reacting to every little thing she says or does. It's the confidence to not chase clarity or reassurance. Because when a man is calm in silence, it screams confidence louder than any words ever could. Most men panic when she goes quiet. They text again, they over-explain, they double text. But here's what you don't realize: she might just be testing your energy. She wants to see if you'll stay grounded or fall apart the moment she pulls away. And if you react emotionally, she knows she controls the dynamic. The strongest men don't fight silence. They use it. Because silence forces her to think. It makes her replay your last message, wonder what you're thinking, and crave your attention again. That's how you shift her curiosity back towards you. Not by saying more, but by saying nothing. 1. Picture this. She suddenly stops replying for hours after being super talkative the day before. Instead of blowing up her phone, you stay calm. You live your life. You post a story of you out with friends, maybe at the gym, smiling, busy, unfazed. Within hours, she views it, maybe even texts, "You've been quiet today." That's her way of saying, "I noticed your silence." See, your silence made her listen. It created space for her to feel your absence, and that's what she misses. Not your messages, but the energy they carried. Remember this: attention loses value when it's too available. Silence restores that value. It makes your presence feel rare again. So next time she goes quiet, don't chase. Match her silence with composure. That's when your silence becomes power, and power is always attractive. 3. Don't reply. Too fast, ever. One of the biggest mistakes men make when texting women is replying too fast. You see her message, your heart jumps, and boom, you reply within seconds. You tell yourself it's just being polite or showing interest. But deep down, you know what it really is. It's eagerness. And eagerness kills mystery every single time. When you reply too fast, you send an unspoken message. I have nothing else going on. You make her feel like you were just waiting for her to text. That might seem harmless, but it's not, because it changes the entire dynamic. She starts to feel like she has control. She doesn't need to put in effort anymore because your attention is guaranteed. Think about it. When someone values your presence, they don't take you for granted. But when you're always instantly available, she stops feeling the need to value your time. That's how attraction quietly fades. You didn't say anything wrong, you didn't act weird, you just made it too easy. And let's be real, you've probably felt it too. When someone replies instantly every single time, it's nice at first. Then it becomes predictable, even boring. There's no tension, no anticipation, no excitement. That's exactly how she feels when you never make her wait. Replying slower isn't about manipulation. It's about showing that your life isn't centered around your phone or around her. It shows that you're busy, focused, and disciplined enough to control your impulses. And that kind of self-control, it's magnetic. When you take your time to reply, it builds curiosity. It makes her wonder what you're doing. It creates emotional space where attraction grows. She starts to imagine your life, your priorities, your thoughts. And that imagination keeps you in her mind far longer than an instant reply ever could. The most attractive men don't chase attention. They command it. They understand that time is power. And when you give it too easily, you lose your edge. So next time you see her message pop up, pause. Don't rush. Take your time. Handle your business, stay calm, and reply when it feels right, not when anxiety tells you to. Because when you stop reacting instantly, you stop being another guy in her notifications and start being the one she's actually waiting to hear from. 4. Mystery beats consistency. Let's get one thing straight. Being consistent doesn't automatically make you attractive. In fact, too many men hide behind consistency as an excuse for being predictable. You think sending her messages every day, updating her about your routine, and constantly checking in makes you reliable. But to her, it just feels repetitive, robotic, and painfully easy to read. Men love to say, "I'm just being a good guy." But here's the reality. Being a good guy isn't what makes her miss you. Being intriguing does. And you can't be intriguing if she already knows what you'll say, when you'll say it, and how you'll act every time. You've probably noticed that women seem more drawn to the guys who don't overshare, the ones who keep parts of their life private. That's not luck, it's psychology. Mystery creates curiosity, and curiosity builds attraction. When she can't fully figure you out, her mind starts to fill in the blanks. That's how emotional connection grows, not through constant communication, but through controlled distance. Here's where most men need to wake up. You've been taught that showing up all the time proves love, but in reality, it just proves you have no boundaries. You're giving her emotional access 24/7 without her having to earn it. That's not love, that's overexposure. And the more she sees, the less she values. Women aren't attracted to men who give everything away. They're drawn to men who leave them guessing just enough to stay curious. That's what makes her replay your messages, overthink your silence, and miss your energy when you're gone. So, if you want her to miss your messages, stop announcing every thought. Stop telling her your entire schedule. Stop being an open book. Let her wonder what's on your mind. Let her feel your absence once in a while. The truth is, mystery isn't about being distant. It's about being disciplined. It's about holding back just enough to keep her intrigued. That's the difference between being the guy she gets used to and the man she can't stop thinking about. Men, wake up. Consistency is comfortable, but comfort kills excitement. Be unpredictable. Be grounded, be mysterious, because in a world full of men desperate to be understood, the one who keeps her guessing always wins. 5. Show interest, then pull back. Most men completely misunderstand how attraction works. You either give too much too soon, or you hold back so much that she never feels anything at all. But the real power lies in balance, showing genuine interest, then pulling back just enough to make her feel your absence. Here's the problem. A lot of men think the moment she shows a little attention, it's go time. You start flooding her with texts, compliments, and energy. You go from mysterious to predictable overnight. And before you even realize it, she's no longer chasing because you've given her everything too fast. You see, attraction is like fire. It needs oxygen to keep burning. When you keep blowing on it, it dies out. That oxygen, it's your space, your distance, your pullback. When you step back after showing interest, you create emotional tension. You make her think about you. You make her wonder what changed, and that curiosity reignites her desire to connect. But here's where men need to wake up. You're not supposed to chase love like it's a prize. You're supposed to lead with confidence. And part of that confidence is knowing when to step back. Showing interest doesn't mean giving her all your attention. It means giving her a taste of your presence, then letting her feel what life is like without it. When you pull back, you're not playing games. You're creating space for her to value your energy. You're showing emotional control, something most men never master. Because let's be real, most guys are scared to pull back. They think she'll forget them. But women don't forget energy that felt rare. They forget energy that felt too easy. So show her that you're interested. Flirt. Compliment her. Be present when you're with her. But then, when the moment feels good, step back. Let her wonder. Let her miss your messages, your attention, your energy. Because that's the secret right there. When you pull back at the right moment, you shift the power. She starts to crave your presence the same way you once craved hers. Men, stop giving everything away too fast. Show interest, then pull back. That's not manipulation, that's maturity. And that's exactly how you make her miss your messages like crazy. 6. Make her earn your attention. Here's the truth most men avoid. You're giving your attention away too easily. You hand it out like it costs nothing, but that's exactly why it's treated like it's worth nothing. If every woman can get your time, your focus, your constant texting, then why should she value it? Men today are too available. You reply instantly, compliment constantly, and stay glued to your phone waiting for her response. But think about it. When was the last time you made a woman earn your attention? When was the last time you made her prove she deserves your energy instead of assuming she does? Attention is currency in modern dating. The more freely you spend it, the less value it holds. Women naturally respect men who don't give their focus away cheaply, not because they're arrogant, but because they clearly have self-respect. Let's be real. Women know the difference between a man who's busy building his life and a man who's just waiting to be noticed. The first one is attractive. The second one is convenient. And there's a huge difference between being wanted and being available. You've got to start seeing your attention as something rare, something that must be earned. That means not texting just because you're bored, not over-explaining yourself when she seems distant, and definitely not chasing after someone who isn't giving the same energy back. If you keep rewarding minimal effort with maximum attention, you train her to expect your energy for free. But when you raise your standards, when you make her meet you halfway, the entire dynamic shifts. She begins to chase, invest, and appreciate your effort more, because now it actually means something. Men, it's time to wake up. You're not supposed to beg for validation. You're supposed to lead with presence, confidence, and purpose. Your attention should feel earned, not assumed, because when you act like every woman deserves your time, you lose your power. When she realizes that your focus isn't easy to get, that she has to work to keep it, that's when she starts to value it. That's when she starts to miss it. So stop giving everything so freely. Make her earn your attention, because the man who values himself first is always the one who gets valued most. 7. Flirt without validation. Most men don't realize how easily they give their power away while flirting. You think flirting means flooding her with compliments, agreeing with everything she says, and trying to make her feel special at all costs. But here's the problem. That kind of flirting isn't attraction, it's validation. And the moment you start validating too much, you stop being a challenge. Flirting isn't about constantly telling her how beautiful she is. Every guy does that. It's about making her feel beautiful through your energy, confidence, and tone, without begging for her approval in return. The difference? One makes her smile, the other makes her lose interest. Men today are too focused on being liked. You flirt to be accepted, not to express confidence. You're scared she'll lose interest if you don't constantly reassure her. But that mindset turns you into her fan, not her fantasy. Real flirting has edge. It's playful, teasing, confident, and never desperate. You've got to understand something powerful. Attraction grows from tension, not validation. When you flirt without constantly seeking her reaction, you show emotional control. You're not performing to get a response. You're being yourself and letting her decide if she can keep up. That's what creates spark. Stop giving compliments like rewards. Stop acting like her attention is the ultimate prize. The truth is, she should feel just as lucky to have your attention, because when you know your worth, your energy naturally becomes attractive. The problem is, most men flirt from insecurity, not confidence. You want her to validate that you're enough instead of already knowing you are. That's why you overdo it. Too many compliments, too much chasing, too much energy that screams, "Please like me." But women don't fall for validation, they fall for certainty. So here's the shift. Flirt with confidence, not approval. Be playful, be bold, be funny, but never lose control of your frame. Let her feel your interest, but make her earn your attention through her effort, her energy, her vibe. That's what keeps her hooked long after the conversation ends. Because when you flirt without validation, you stop acting like you're lucky to have her and start reminding her that you're the kind of man she doesn't want to lose. Conclusion. Here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud, most men are the reason women stop feeling attraction. Not because women are too complicated, but because men have forgotten how to be men. You're too available, too emotional, too desperate to be understood, and in that process, you kill the very mystery that makes her crave you. Harsh? Maybe. But think about it. When was the last time you made a woman earn your attention instead of handing it over the moment she smiled at you? When was the last time you walked away from someone who gave you inconsistency instead of chasing her harder? Most of you know the answer, and it's exactly why she doesn't miss you. The truth is, the modern man is losing his edge. You've been told to be nice, soft, and endlessly available. But real attraction doesn't work that way. A woman doesn't fall for the man who's always around. She falls for the one who makes her feel something when he's not. That's the difference between being liked and being unforgettable. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the hardest part for you when it comes to pulling back? I'll be reading through and replying personally because I want to understand your experiences. This isn't just about advice. It's about building real connection and helping men win back their power the right way. And remember, this was just the beginning, because in the next video, we're diving even deeper into why being too nice is the reason she lost interest in you. Stay ready.